What up guys, it's Sonic Soul here, and I've been playing a lot of DNF. I've been grinding this game for 40-50 hours straight during the beta, and I kind of wanted to give a little guide or tutorial about how to play busty little seaman demon here, Striker. So I kind of want to give some thoughts about this character and try to help people out before the game comes out. I don't think they're going to make too many changes to this character, but if they do, I'll be sure to cover it. So Striker is definitely a rushdown character. She's definitely the type of character that wants to get in and stay in and force a lot of strike throw mix, which is generally what this game is going to be about. There's going to be left-right mixes, but not that much due to guard button and auto guard in the game, but ultimately she wants to get in. She is the only character in the game that doesn't really use weapons like that. She's, next to Grappler, one of the only characters that just fights you with bare hands, right? So her range is not going to be as strong as other characters, and so that's going to affect her in certain matchups. But ultimately what she wants to do in this game is she's going to use her advancing normals and her fast mobility to kind of get in. For the starters, she has really good movement. She probably has some of the best movement in the game, honestly, in terms of like movement speed, right? In terms of her movement speed, she's really good at that. Her backdash, literally 2 backdashes take you to full screen. So she can really like cover a lot of distance and build space so she can play on the ground, which is generally what she wants to do. She wants to play on the ground, fish for whiff punishes and potential counter pokes. That's what she's gonna want to do. She's gonna play grounded. Now remember, with dash break, right? So if you use the guard button, right? And everybody hates the fucking guard button, right? But with the guard button, if you run and press the guard button, you will actually not recover. You won't have this animation where they slide and stop in place. Instead, she'll immediately guard and stop her dash, and you'll block immediately. So that's something to really note for this character, because she wants to use her movement, which can be wild. She wants to make sure she could be precise with it so she can actually whiff punish people, right? So that's what I usually do when I try to look for normals. Now, speaking of looking for normals, let's go ahead and try to talk about some of her normals in depth, right? So first, she's got 5A, simple jab, 2A is also a low here, right? So both of these buttons are pretty much your standard fare. Her 5A is pretty fast, and she can kind of gatling it. She can whip it like this. So you could kind of mash it on wake up, but it's not advised, right? Then you've got her standing B, her 5B. Her 5B moves her forward, and it has really good range on it. So you can kind of use this to advance on the opponent using her movement. The thing about it is, with this button, since she travels a large portion of the screen with her movement, she can kind of tag the opponent with this, and it's pretty important because with its range, because it goes really far, as you can see, she can potentially get a conversion from this, right? Since all of her motions move her forward. The next normal she's got here, she's got 2B. 2B is a sliding kick. It low profile certain attacks, and you're gonna want to do this as kind of like a quick get in, more or less, because this button doesn't have too much hurt box above her head. Ultimately, like, you should be using this button to low profile a lot of the attacks in the game that could potentially stop you from using this button. I'm gonna talk about 6S before I talk about 5S, because 6S is the other advancing normal you're going to be using in the neutral, and it's pretty important because we're going to get to explaining another mechanic about Striker, but essentially this button goes really far. It's really good at whiff punishing. You can hit confirm it as well, right, and get some stuff started. But this button is really strong at whiff punishment alongside this button. So you can do some things like that, especially on block, which is really good, right? Or you can even do things like this. What I'm showing you here is reverse beat. Reverse beating is very important for a character like Striker. She's the only one in the game that can do it. With reverse beating, right, she can go from her heavy normals to her light normals, right? So most characters can only go like A, B, C, right? But she can go C, B, A. She can also go C, A, B, right? This also ties with her normals, so she can do like, you know, she can go into any of her normals here and reverse beat them. She can also reverse beat her aerial normals, which we'll talk about as well, and that's kind of where the spicy stuff happens. In the neutral, when you have things like this or this, it makes these options safe on block, because normally if I were to do this normal and the opponent blocks it, so try pressing, there you go, 5B, see that? See, I get punished here, right? But if I do this, I'm not punishable anymore. See that? I'm no longer punishable. So that's important. That's important to understand, right? So knowing this, you can have a lot of safe pokes in the neutral that advance forward and make yourself safe, so that way you don't get bodied for doing these normals. Now her 5C, right? She's got this regular shoulder charge that she does, right? And then if she presses it again, she'll do this rising elbow, this elbow into fist, like that. You see that? And that's pretty much combo filler. It's used in a lot of combos, and you can use it in block strings as well. It's generally going to lead into a lot of things. All her normals, by the way, for the most part, except for her lights and her 2B or 2M, are jump cancelable too. Her 2C, this is her launcher. That's how she gets started, right? That's how she gets started from her combos to go into the air. And the other thing too is that you could kind of use this as an anti-air, but not really, right? Generally speaking, you're going to be converting from this, right? So that's generally what that button's purpose is for. There's one more, actually. There's this normal. So there's 4S. This is a standing low. Yeah. See that? Crouch block. Yeah, so see? You can block it low, but you can't block it standing. See what I'm saying? Like, you get to convert that. So my point is that you want to mix this up in your pressure as well, because this is another facet of opening the opponent up on defense. Her jumping normals, she has jump A, standard fair, standing jab. This is her main cross-up tool. So like, this tool will actually cross the opponent up. See that? This tool is pretty good, especially for like setting up instant overhead type beats. But to be honest with you, you're not going to be using this button to really, like, you know, go for left rights often with this character. This is pretty much Striker in a nutshell. This is what she wants. This button right here is what everybody's doing, and everybody gets mad at this button. This is jumping S, and it's basically a dive kick. It's a one-button dive kick. So this button is kind of ridiculous, man. It can be plus on block if she spaces it, right? Or if she gets it below the tip of the knees. But that doesn't even matter. And the reason why that doesn't matter is, remember what I said about reverse beating. You can go from jump S to jump A. So you could literally just do this. And that will combo. And from there, you get like triple overheads and you can get started. So it's like, this move in and of itself is just cheap, right? Like, the moment this hits, she gets a combo and she can create triple overheads from this. But the thing about it that people get tripped up on is they feel it's going to be a mix-up, right? The thing is, there is no mix-up, because you can just react to her crouching, right? She's going to crouch. She doesn't have an overhead. She doesn't have a single overhead in her toolkit outside of the dive kick. So you just block the triple overhead, because she can only do, like, highs on you, and then you just see her crouch and then go low. So the dive kick can be blocked crouching. See? That the dive kick itself is not an overhead, but the reverse beat into the jump jab is an overhead. So that's why you want to just stand block, even though you could crouch block the dive kick, because you'll be covering two things. The dive kick will actually be, so stand block, yeah, stand block, and then punish me. Oops. See, I get counter hit, right? So the only time striker players are gonna be going for the dive kick into the reverse beat, the only time they're gonna get like a double or triple overhead is if they jump really high in the air. Knowing this, you know that you'll be able to cover the reverse beat, and on top of that, the dive kick is negative if I don't space it. So I literally cannot just throw it out, like react to her going to crouch state and then block. So that's what you need to do if you're struggling against striker, but that's essentially the gist of this move. You're gonna also be using this in combo extensions, right? You're going to be using this also for your safe jumps and for your OTG pickups and for combos. So this normal is pretty much everything about Striker in a nutshell. People complain about this, you need to lap this shit. Anyway, let's go ahead and talk about her specials, her MS moves. So she's got 1, 2, 3, and then the fourth one is a 1-inch punch. So she's got 4 special moves in and of itself that she can do. And then she can only do one in the air, which is that move. So we're gonna talk about each one. So her 5 MS doesn't spend as much meter. It only spends about like 30, and it's the only one without a motion. So you don't need to do a motion for this move, and so that's why your mana will regenerate immediately. So I need you to block this move. I need you to block this move. This move hits low first, by the way. The move hits low first. See, it's safe on block, but if I press a button, it's a counter hit. So this move is safe on block. You're gonna be using this to kind of end your pressure. You're never gonna be using this to be plus on block. She has the shoulder toss, the Tetsuzanko or whatever it's called. You can either perform it with forward and MS, or you can perform it with 236 MS. The reason you want to do it with 236 MS is that the mana regeneration happens immediately when you do the actual input instead of doing the simple input. This move is for combo extension. It's punishable on block, but it's only for combo extension. It's only for combo extension. You can't be using this move as pressure. It's actually punishable on block if you just end with it. But it has a lot of pushback, so the opponent has to know that it's punishable. See? I'm not plus. So I can definitely get punished by characters that have better range than Kunoichi in this situation. Her 1-inch punch can be performed with 214 MS or back in MS. Let's go ahead and talk about the 1-inch punch. So the 1-inch punch, it causes a crumple state, right, on grounded hit, and on block, it's plus. Yeah, this move is actually supposed to be plus on block. So I'm gonna just do it. See? It's plus on block. It's plus on block. That move is really good in pressure if you do it after this move on block. Because on block, this move, it's plus. And as you can see, they can't really press anything there because the move is extremely active. The only way Striker's gonna land this 1-inch punch is if she does the kick first, like that. See? And she has to really be mindful of her spacing, because in block strings, if she doesn't do it immediately, that will not connect like that on block. On block, this move will actually like just straight out whiff. Right? So it has to be a very short block string into that triple kick for it to actually connect like that. So if I get an air hit on this, it causes a hard knockdown. It causes a hard knockdown. They cannot tech. And you don't have to hit buttons to tech in this game. The game auto techs for you. So that proves that it's a hard knockdown. And you can OTG after that hard knockdown too. And then this becomes a safe jump. It becomes a safe jump, and it becomes a safe jump that you can block DPs with, and you get to continue your pressure, right? That's the usefulness of this move, is that as an ender in combos, you literally get a mix-up situation from that. It could be high, low, or throw. Now her final move is her DP. Her DP, so it's going to be either 623 and MS or down MS. You're probably going to be using down MS. But this move goes straight up, and it can be manipulated via Striker's momentum. So she can move further forward, right? But that's why you want to do down MS, so it moves further. You don't want to do the 623 MS, so you actually have to do the easier input, so it can become a actual DP with longer range. That's the whole reason why easy inputs are useful for this character, and why sometimes easy inputs is pretty important, because for a character like Striker, her DP only goes straight up. It has no horizontal range whatsoever. It can literally whiff right in front of the opponent and they can punish you. So that's why she needs to use her momentum to move the DP forward. Now the thing to note about this is that I cannot cancel this move into another special on whiff. I can't. So only on block and on hit can I cancel the actual move into another special. And this is important to note, because if I like do dash of DP, I could literally go into the special here and get a conversion. So that's something to understand here about that. this move is only really good if it actually connects. So if it whiffs, I just fucking die. See, I just literally fucking die. So that's the thing you have to understand, is that yeah, it's stupid, but it has a drawback to it. It has no range, and if it whiffs, you can't cancel it, so you just die. You're gonna be using this as your main reversal and also as an anti-air whenever somebody jumps in on you. And yeah, those are all of her specials. Now, finally, her super. Her super, get me down to 30%. Okay, so this is her super. Her super is performed with AS, so just one button. None of these supers are invincible because they're one button supers, so you can get hit out of it. But basically, this super is a giant burst field. It's like a giant pulsating burst field. So she can use this at the end of her combos primarily. She's gonna do it at the end of her combos, or she's gonna do it like as a pseudo anti-air because it has a bit of range above her head. That's how much damage it does raw. The reason it does that much damage raw is because her passive when she enters 30%, because every character gets a passive at 30%. I'm gonna put Kunoichi at 30%. So my passive at 30% is that I do more damage. So that's why the super does that much damage raw by itself. The thing to note about passives in this game, chat, and for everybody watching on YouTube, is that the moment you spend your super, the moment you finish your super, you lose your passive. You only get your super one time in a round. So you have to be careful, and that's why most of the time you want to combo into that super. You never want to wake up into it. That's basically all of Striker's moves in a nutshell. Now, one other thing to note, I want Kunoichi to throw kunais at me. See how this move, the shoulder move, goes through projectiles? On counter hit, it causes a wall bounce, and you can get a confirm from that. And that's the importance of this move, is that in neutral, because we're going to be talking a little bit more about it, in neutral, you can actually get a confirm here in the corner. See that? So that's important to note about that move when dealing with projectile wars, because you don't have to just roll, you can also use this move as well. So if you think that zoning her with projectiles is going to be like something that you're going to be doing, that's not going to happen with this character. Couple that with the other normals that I mentioned before, like 6S, 2M, like I said, she's going to use these normals to kind of get in and get started. So you have to really like understand that this character wants to play on the ground. She's not going to be playing in the air that much. She's going to want to try to whiff punish people using this. She's going to try to reverse beat to make this stuff safe, right? Or to get the combo started. So, and then she's going to occasionally do dive kick within the neutral as well to start punishing people and be annoying and obnoxious as possible. So, yeah, that's her neutral. She wants to basically get in on the opponent and then start doing strike throw mix-ups. Because once they start respecting you and they start blocking, that's when it becomes a real threat of whether or not she's going to try to throw you or she's going to try to shimmy you, right? So she's going to throw you, or like you might be thinking she's going to throw you and then all of a sudden she just does the dive kick. Block the dive kick and I'll do it again. Like that. See that? That's how she's going to bait your throw. She's going to bait your throw, not by teching it. She's going to bait your throw by doing dive kick. Be mixing that up, or she's going to be doing throw, or she's going to be doing things like, or she's going to even be doing things like this. Low. Throw. Right? And then she could go high too. She could go high from this. She could go high from the dive kick. So you see the point? She's going to be doing strike throw mix-ups on you. That's what she wants to do on offense. Finally, let's go ahead and talk about the safe jump and some combos. Okay. See that? This is her safe jump. Now I want you to press a button there, bro jumpers. That's a safe jump. See that? That is what she's going to be doing to you. She could corner to corner carry you. So. See that? So if she has her back to the wall, that's not that much of a big deal, because then she can end up putting you to the corner. But she obviously has to spend all of her meter to do that. In her block string, she's gonna generally be doing a lot of special canceling to whittle down your guard bar. So, right? So she's gonna be doing a lot of her block strings in order to whittle down your guard bar. And when she doesn't have that much health left, when she's at 30%, she becomes ridiculous, because then she gets to do that like forever. Okay, let's try this again. See that? So that's what she could do if she started the combo mid-screen, or she had her back to the corner. And this is how much damage it does. That's a lot of life lost. That's a lot of life lost. So she can definitely make the comeback and kill you. So this is what the combo is going to look like in the corner. She'll just use the 1-inch punch instead to loop it. And this is how much damage it does. They literally lose 70%. They literally lose 70%. They get put into Awakening immediately. So, know that as you will. That is basically what she wants to get done if she's about to die. That's Striker in a nutshell. That's how you play Striker. That's her combos. That's how she's going to mix people up. That's her normals. Everything that you need to know. Hopefully this really helped you guys out. And yeah, I hope I can make more DNF footage or more DNF tutorials in the future. Obviously the beta is about to end, so I only had a little bit of time to really work on this tutorial, and I've been playing Striker a lot. I think she's fun. I think she's busty. And if you're interested in playing big tick characters, pick this character. If you are interested in subbing to my channel, please do so and hit the notification bell so you know when I upload another video like this and other fighting game content. And also follow me on twitch.tv/sonic_soul, because that's where I hang out with the fucking chat and we fucking play video games. So yeah, be a part of the community. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.